Hello and welcome to Nintendo No, and today we're talking about Squaresoft's first foray into 3D. And no, before you say it, even though you didn't because you've seen the title of the video, it's not Final Fantasy VII, though many thought it was. Let's head back to early 1996, and the N64, formerly known as the Ultra 64, was on the horizon, with its release coming later that year in Japan and North America, and Europe and Australia the next year, because Frozen Europe, well, Nintendo didn't love us back then. Magazines were certainly starting to get the hype going for the N64, and at the time many magazines were showing off what they said was Square's next RPG, and some even touted it the Ultra 64 game, which is quite high praise indeed. Some even went as far as giving it a release date of December 1996, which clearly they had just plucked out of nowhere, as we now know. Around this time, Square was on a high with their Final Fantasy games, amongst others such as Secret of Mana and Chrono Trigger selling like hotcakes in Japan and gaining a cult following in the West. All their hits had been on Nintendo systems exclusively, so due to this knowledge and the screens showed off by magazines, everybody assumed that Final Fantasy 64 was coming. This of course was quashed when Square announced their departure from Nintendo systems, citing the PlayStation's CD drive and higher capabilities for CG cutscenes and higher production values. Due to all of these factors, it's become increasingly clear that the Final Fantasy VII that we know today is not Final Fantasy 64. The actual truth of the matter is that Final Fantasy 64 wasn't the few things it was rumoured to be at all. It wasn't a cancelled version of Final Fantasy VII for the N64. It wasn't a remake of Final Fantasy VI for the N64. No, it was simply a tech demo. You see, the actual name of this is Final Fantasy VI the Interactive CG Game, a name which only Squaresoft could come up with. Damn you and your long name, Squaresoft. In reality, all this was a showcase of what Square could do with the N64 hardware, and, though now very primitive, I am sure at the time it was very impressive, and it's unfortunate an actual game never came of it. That's the story of Final Fantasy 64, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Nintendo No, and if you did, then please leave a like for this video. Comment your opinions on this game down below. Is it a shame that we never got this game? Would you have liked to have seen a Final Fantasy game on the N64? And of course, if you feel like you want to, then please subscribe. I've been Maka, thank you for watching, and bye bye.